Understanding Form 3, Chapter 9. That's the one. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you're there already, so we can start now. Okay. So as you look at the word straight line, this is a like a shortcut version to your Form 3, Chapter 9. Okay. So straight line, suppose normally student will tell me, teacher, y equals mx plus c. This is what student will tell me. But if let's say you want to make it like super exact, so we don't really say y equals mx plus c, but instead of that, what we will say? We will say we have two types. So we're going to draw like two lines, okay, to the left and right. Yeah. So I'm going to give like a smaller portion to the one on the right. Okay, I'll get a bigger portion for the left side one. So the left side one, obviously it's gradient related. Okay, so of course student will say like, teacher, I thought every straight line there is gradient. It's just that either you have negative, positive, you have like infinity, okay, or maybe you have gradient equals 0. But to me, to make it like easier to understand, I'll make it gradient and non-gradient. Okay, gradient and non-gradient. Yeah, so I will treat gradient as a slope. So basically, the two types of straight line that you see on the left side, sorry, it will be something like this. Okay, like this one and this one. These are the two types. Okay, so when you come into these two types, right? So obviously, so the first thing comes in already. So obviously, student will tell me, teacher, this one is like slight related. So it means it will be y equals to mx plus c. Okay, it will be y equals mx plus c. And for the other side, instead of y equals mx plus c, since I mentioned non-gradient, right? I will treat it as, look at this, no gradient. I treat it as no gradient. Suppose if let's say you're going to go into in-depth of the explanation, right? Okay, let me show you something, everyone. Now, so let's say my hand is like obviously showing a straight line which is slight, okay, with a slope. So imagine if I place a ball on top, I let it go. Obviously, it will roll, right? Roll. It's either it roll faster or roll slower. If let's say my straight line is only this slight, obviously it will roll like slower. If let's say I go this way, of course it will be super fast. If I go this way, it's like worse, right? Now, so the thing is that non-gradient is where you have either horizontal or vertical. And student, let me ask you common sense. I repeat, non-gradient, I just treat it as no gradient. But to be exact, there is, and we can use common sense to understand it. So can you tell me this gradient? Suppose okay, to be exact, this is gradient equals to what, everybody? This red color one is to explain only, okay, is to explain only. So what's so special about this gradient? Like if I make it like vertical, come on, if you place a ball by the side, right, come on, you don't even roll, you're right. So it's like, it's straight away drop down. So this one we name it as gradient equals to what? Equals to infinity, all right? Math error, because over 0, right? If you do calculation, you get over 0, right? Now then for the other one, what is this gradient, everyone? Come on, if you place a line horizontal, you place a ball on top, and you let it go, come on, it won't move. Probably some wind when you blow it, it goes up, but then it won't move. So this one gradient equals to 0. So the red color one is just to explain the real reason. But then in our normal, I would say when you present your equation, we don't really use it. Now, so we're going to go into how do you present the equation? It's either we present it y equals to question mark, or we present it as x equals to question mark. So students, I repeat, suppose this is a class regarding chapter 6, linear inequalities involving two variables, but you notice what I show you is that I'm showing you the basic to your Form 3, Chapter 9. Yeah, so you need all these things in order to master it. And again, of course, in order to master it, yes, you need to know how to draw a graph. Of course, to draw a graph means you need to know how to plot coordinates. Yeah, you have to know how to find coordinates. So those are the things that you're going to learn. But of course, I will skip all those explanations to chapter 6 first. We go into basics where you need to know. So if let's say any of your friend asks you, like, teacher, like like your friend asks you what to expect in your chapter 6, you say the first thing you do is to make sure you know what is y equals mx plus c first. Okay, especially art class students like me. Okay, art class students like me. Because we don't really like get to expose to a lot of y equals mx plus c. Unlike science class students, physics you're going to use it, y equals mx plus c. MS you're going to use it, math you're going to use it as well. But in art class, if let's say you are like purely art class student, right? The only part where you use y equals mx plus c is only maths. Yeah, so the rest don't have. So they use 3 subjects to talk about y equals mx plus c, but for art class it's only one class. Yeah, so that's the point. So art class students, you don't get anything from me. Okay, science class student, you know, you let me know the things that I ask you all. Okay, so I will instantly explain this one, okay, a fast one. Just draw like y-axis, not too big, okay, something like that. So y-axis, x-axis, just a draft, everyone. Okay, just a draft. Then what I do is that the first question comes in. I want you to construct, or maybe draft, x equals to 4. And then the second one is like y equals to -2. So how you will present? Of course, there is no square grid, no graph paper. We are just doing like roughly, right? So can you fit the straight line for me? Yeah, you draw it yourself. Okay, I will show you the answer in a while. Okay, so how do we draw these two things? Okay, you draw it first, So you draw already, you type okay. You don't have to show it to me. So let me draw. Very simple. It's somehow something where you learn it in your reflection in your form 2. Okay, or maybe same form 3 chapter 9, you learn it as well. So you learn like 2 times already, but you forget, it's fine, because some students, they didn't relate other topics to, they don't relate like topics with topics. Normally they will learn this topic and they focus on this topic. So suppose in mathematics, right, everything links. Yeah. So students, how do I draw x equals to 4? Very simple. You go to x axis, you go to number 4. Let's say it's over here. I put a 4 there. You're gonna draw a line that pass through, or maybe I said the word jujuk. Okay, pass through 4 and pass through x-axis. Then there's the one. So this is x equals to 4. I'm done. Okay, I'm done. Now next, how do I draw y equals to -2, everybody? How do I draw that? Very simple. So what you do is that you draw a line that pass through y and pass through -2. Okay, so this is y. So -2 is like roughly here. I just roughly only. Then you draw a line that pass through it. Done. So I'm done, you see? I draw already. So it's quite easy to construct, of course. Don't get too worried in drawing like your specific straight line, because in the normal exam, they will provide either square grid, or maybe they will provide like real graph paper to you. Okay, so don't get too worried on that. Okay, let's continue. Now the next one, sorry, I missed out something. Y equals -2, you have to label your graph always, okay? Now, so done with this, drawing it like probably 1 mark roughly there. Okay, probably 1 mark. Now, the next one, y equals x+c is the main thing. Yeah, so we're going to learn how to construct. We're going to learn how to work out the equation. We have to learn both. Okay, so I will put it over here. Now, y equals x+c. Students, I already said, it's either this, it's either it goes like this way, or maybe it goes like the other way. But then normally student will tell me something like, teacher, I remember my school teacher said something like the straight line go upwards and the straight line go downwards. Okay, let me explain a bit on what the teacher mentioned, okay? Actually, your teacher is trying to say something like this. Okay, now don't draw, just to show you. This line over here, can everyone tell me it shows upwards graph or downwards graph? Because I get confused when I'm in form 5. Yeah, this one is an upwards graph or downwards graph. So one student said down, okay, but changed to up already. Okay, so this is up or down, this one. This one, graph goes up or go down. Okay, I'll show you how I indicate. Normally, I use number line to indicate. So imagine I just randomly draw Cartesian plane. I randomly draw Cartesian plane. Can you see this line? Okay, if I use x-axis, obviously this is like the smaller value, right? Then this one will be bigger value as you go to the right. So can you see this line is going upwards, right? So this is an upwards graph. So upwards graph, normally we say gradient positive. So this one obviously downwards. So you see, I draw it for you. I just randomly draw like a Cartesian plane. This one go down, right? Doesn't go down. So you put there, gradient equals negative. So this is one of the way to instantly know whether it is positive or negative without any calculations. Let's say you do calculation, of course, you will get the exact positive negative value, okay? Now, so done with a quick way in determining negative positive gradient. The next thing will be, we will underline M, underline C. I will explain it. We do some, I would say, equation calculation. Then we will move into drafting and so on. Now, students, I missed out something in the middle. Can you put it in the middle? What I'm showing here is the equation. Okay, the equation. So what is the equation? Or maybe sometimes they will use the word something like state the equation of of AB, or maybe calculate the equation of AB, something like that. So equation means the name to the straight line. Okay, name to the specific straight line. SL means straight line. So these are the equation. So these are the equation. You saw that? These are the equation. So on the other side, the equation will be y equals x+c. So this is the equation. Okay, cool. Let me send a message to a student. Okay, come, everyone, you write down already. Now, so I'm going to ask everyone, you try answering me. Okay, so you try answering me, right? As in, yes, we have an equation there. Y equals x plus c. So we have two things to fill in only. So the two things to fill in, number one, of course, it will be m. So what is m, everybody? There's a name to it. And then number two, what is c? Something very easy, right? So what is m? There's a name to it. We just mentioned it just now. Start with g, right? So we name it as gradient. Yes. So of course I put an m there. So normally we put m. Okay, m we know it will be gradient. Then the next thing will be plus c, everyone. What's plus c? Yes, the plus c is actually y-intercept. Okay, y-intercept. Okay, plus c is actually y-intercept. Okay, next, continue. Thank you very much, everyone. Now, so the other one will be I will place like calculations. Okay, I will place like how to do calculation to achieve your gradient. Okay, by the side, I will get you two instead of every single calculation. I'll get you two only. Now, so one of it being the usual y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. This is the usual one. Of course, student will say, teacher, I thought the Malay one. I thought it's like y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is the same. Don't worry. But if you start with the first one, of course, the one below, you start with the first one as well. Okay, so deciding which one is the first coordinate, second coordinate, it's up to you. Yeah, that's why it's okay to the Balian. Now, the next one. So first one done already. Just put it by the side. You need two coordinates, obviously. You need two coordinates to achieve this. Okay, two coordinates. Now, the next one, okay? Now, the next one, I will be telling you some very important hints that you need when you are solving gradient, where it's about parallel. So when you have parallel lines, okay, parallel lines, for example, let's say you have straight line number one, gradient being 2, for example. So if let's say they are parallel, so can you tell me what is the next gradient over here? Obviously, it will be 2 as well because they can share the same gradient. What is gradient? It's the steepness level or maybe the steepness rating. It's a rating, everybody. It's not length, it's a rating. It's not unit, it's a rating. Yeah, okay, it's a rating. Something like you are deciding the handsome level of somebody. Yeah, okay. So let's say you're going to look at two pictures. Let's say me and Yu Qing. We are competing in a what? In a handsome level rating, for example. Let's say I put my picture here and put Yu Qing's picture here. So what happened? So mine so level 100 is like maximum lah. My level 5. So if let's say I put Yu Qing, how much? Your science teacher, Yu Qing? Probably something like negative 200 or something like that. Okay, so it's a rating. It's a rating, it's not length. Now, so everyone, nothing much. Okay, so parallel, it gives you same gradient, no calculation, because you can use the other one to help out. But of course, student will tell me something like this. Okay, why not? I get yours some time. You'll try answering me this. Can you tell me another way to calculate gradient? Yeah, another way to calculate gradient. Okay, I'm not going to write it over here because it's not something where we use it quite often. Yeah, but see whether yours can recall or not. Okay, you'll try it out. Okay, what's that? Yeah, Kajun, that's the one. But then can you write it like slightly specific? Ahmad, super specific. Thank you very much. Okay, how about Joel? Lagi specific a bit. Kajun and Joel, same answer. But I want you to be like slightly more specific on that. Okay, Kajun, correct already? You can type short form, everyone. I understand. It's just that maybe the spelling you shortcut a bit. Yeah, very good. So that very important, I wouldn't say important, I would say, Jaan missed out one information, just one only. Spelling everything is perfect. Just one information missed out, which is a common mistake where a student did. So students, the answer is, I will just mention it verbally. I'm not writing it down because we don't really use it. It's negative y-intercept over x-intercept. Okay, negative y-intercept over x-intercept. Because most of the time, right, in your exam, they won't provide both y-intercept, x-intercept. Most of the time, they won't give you that. So anyhow, we still have to use two coordinates, and so a bit no point to like waste your time memorizing it. It's just that I will tell you so you know it. So it's negative y-intercept over x-intercept. Okay, so I'm not writing it out. Now, so that will be the next option. Okay, gradient done already. I put it there. Again, this is a recap. Okay, a recap to your Form 3 Chapter 9. Okay, the next one. Okay, the next one. Your y-intercept. Hey, students, y-intercept. How do you get it? I mean, if let's say we're going to complete our y equals x plus c, there's only two things. So m, calculation there already. So the next thing will be, how do you get your y? How do you get your c, y-intercept? Number one, how do you get it? I mean, if let's say you recall what I mentioned in Form 3, you will know lah. But if let's say student will say, teacher, what do you mean by how to get it? Okay, I don't have a question. How I know? Then I tell you. Okay, Kajun, that's one of it. So I'll write down that. Now, student, let me tell you how I get it. Number one, you can look at the graph. So literally, you notice I draw eyeball there, right? Okay, so that's eyeball. So you look at the graph. So when you look at the graph, right? You look at the graph. Yeah. So normally they will provide one, like for example, let's say there's a 6 there. Then you can look at y-intercept is there. There. Y-intercept. Y-intercept, in case you don't know what is it, right? It means the intersection between y-axis and that specific straight line AB. That's the one. Y-intercept. So if let's say you see there's a 6 there, right? You can instantly come over here. You erase that plus C. You can replace with plus 6. If let's say you notice your straight line is not 6. Let's say your straight line is like this. This is -4, for example, and this is xy. Okay, then what you do? You erase this and you put -4. Got it? So is that easy? I mean, if they provide lah. Okay, if they provide. But how if they didn't provide? Never mind. We have second option because I said I will give you like 2 options, right? Okay, so what do? Okay, very simple. Let me tell you. The answer will be you can sub relevant coordinate. So I will instantly use like all these examples, all these hints that I give it to you in 2 questions, and you can learn how to apply it. Of course, like what I mentioned, for science class student, I'm pretty sure you know how to do it. But if let's say you don't know, of course you learn it now lah. Okay, because you learn it in like both physics and maths. I mean, not learner, it's just that your teacher will hint you that, hey, you learn already, and suppose you should know it. Then they will give you like a bit of hints to how to get y equals mx+c. I'm pretty sure you already know how to use it lah. Okay, so if you don't know, it's fine. We will do it now. Okay, now so students, I will design 2 questions. Of course, I won't be drawing it over here. I will be drawing it on your first page, your cover page. Let me pause my screen for a while. Okay, let me redesign it over here, students. Now I will go back to your front part here. Can you see there's like blank space, right? Yeah, so we're gonna draw 2. Okay, we're gonna draw 2. Let me pause it first. Let me pause it first. Now I'm gonna draw 2. Everyone, I'm gonna draw 2. Wait. So you prepare, okay? So I'm gonna draw 2, and of course, our ultimate goal, I'll mention it first. Our ultimate goal is to get the equation. I repeat, our ultimate goal is to get the equation of what? Of the given straight line. Okay, cool. So I have it already. So there's 2 examples here. So my question is to get the equation of AB. My question 2 over here is to get the equation of CD. Okay, I'll get you like probably 2-3 minutes. You can draw it first. You know how to do, you can do it yourself. Okay, but if you don't know how to do, you can wait for me, don't worry. Because I expect students to forget, especially ACA students. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to do it. So you can do it yourself. If you don't know, it's fine. You draw it first. So once you are done with the drawing, you put D. Then I know you are done with the drawing. Okay, so I'll pause here. Okay, I'll wait for you.
A few minutes later.
Okay, come, let's do it. Now, so of course, if you know how to do it, you can do it yourself. Now, so for those that you're like halfway there, you're not so sure, but I'm gonna say, y equals mx+c, why I insist to do it as well. Instead of instantly do it, another reason, because in your SPM, definitely there will be one specific question, like one slot park for y equals mx+c, and you're gonna complete it like for example, probably like 4 marks, 5 marks, maximum can reach up to 6. Yeah, so it's actually part of your paper 2 slot. You have 16 questions to complete, one of the slot in your section A, straight line, y equals mx+c, form 3 version. Form 3 version are not even form 5, Yeah, form 3 version, part 1 slot, you see, so important. Okay, so that's why I need to go through. Okay, you cannot just know a bit only. And of course, it helps in a lot of chapters, right? And subject as well. Okay, so everyone, now you see how I decide part by part. So I'm gonna ask again, everyone, agree or not? I said we have 2 types, so I'm gonna put it very, very big now. So first you have to decide. We have 2 types, type number 1 and type number 2. Type number 1 being gradient related, you will instantly bomb y equals mx+c if they ask for equation. If let's say they say, I want an equation, but then you notice it's like here, horizontal, vertical, then you will instantly check whether this straight line pass through which specific axis. If let's say it pass through like a specific 3, and that's a y axis, then you will put y equals to 3, something like that. So the first thing I do is to decide it belongs to which one. Then I write the relevant equation template. So I show you, students, don't draw extra one, I put in red. Students, if let's say I have a line, it goes like this. So if I want you to state the red color lines, equation, look at the word I mentioned, equation. So what you do, very simple. This line is 90 degree. Okay, normally they'll put 90 degree. Or maybe they will say, oh, this line is perpendicular to x-axis. Or maybe they will say this line is parallel to y-axis. Then they will say, state the equation to this. Very simple. So everyone, pass through x, right? Pass through number 3, right? X equal to 3. That's how you form the equation. Normally 1 mark, sometimes it can go up to 2 marks. Okay, depending on whether the information's difficulty is there or not. Lah. Okay, so it's that simple. That will be your second type. Right there? This one, second type. So right. So you need to differentiate it. That's why don't instantly bomb any straight line as y equals mx plus c. Don't do that. Okay, then I come into this situation here, I erase it. Okay, erase it. So this one just to show you a bit of info. Now, next, obviously the two given questions here, example 1 and 2, they are both y equals to mx plus c. They are both y equals to mx plus c, right? Okay, students, now let me complete equation number 1 first. First of all, go for gradient, the m. And next, go for c, the y-intercept. Students, I'm not sure whether you want to ask or not. If let's say you wanted to ask your type 1, student might want to ask me like, teacher, what is the y and x indicating? I know m is the gradient, I know I have to calculate. I know c is the y-intercept, I know I have to calculate, teacher. But then, what is the y and x representing? What is it for? Anyone wanted to ask this? Because a lot of physical class didn't ask me because we skipped this part already, okay, for Jiang Gasing branch. And okay, let me tell you the reason, very simple. Remember just now we have this straight line, right? Why you tell me x equals to 3, explain everyone. Why you tell me this is x equals to 3? Even if I put a line like this, let's say, obviously pass through y and 5, right? You will tell me this is y equals to 5. But why you place x there? Why you place y in your equation for these two straight line? Why? Yes, because x equals to 3, cucuk x, pass through x. And then your y equals to 5, cucuk y, pass through y. That's why they put there to tell you, hey, I cucuk these two axes. So same applies to your y equals to x plus c. Why there is x and y there? Because this straight line cucuk both axes. That's why there is x and y there. Makes sense? Right now, it makes sense. So that's the reason. But of course, we can use it. We can use this x and y to help out to find some information. Later you will know. Okay, so let's feed into it. So that's why I need to know the details. You don't know any part, just boom me. I explain to you. It's just that. That's why I need students to ask me questions. Okay. Now, so gradient. Okay, I put it by the side. Okay, gradient AB equal. Just go for your normal y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Everyone. So I do this. Hey, oh my gosh, I need 2 coordinates. Do you have it? I put there just now, right? You see, you want to solve it. You need 2 coordinates. Or maybe parallel. Of course, no parallel then. So we can only use 2 coordinates. So we have it, right? Yes, we have it. This is the first one. And of course, the second one is over here, the 5. And the 5 is actually 0, 5. Right? That's the second equation. Even if you say, teacher, can I put the 0, 5 as my first equation? First coordinate. And my 2, 7 as the second coordinate? Yes. Nobody say the A there, 2, 7 must be the first one. You can put anyone as the first. Then I will go for my y1 minus y2. So 7 minus 5 as usual. And then 2 minus 0. So 7 minus 5, you get 2. 2 minus 0, you get 2. So gradient 1. Oh, okay. Positive 1. Go upwards, correct? Correct? So I replace y equals to x plus c. Then nobody write 1x, come on. Right? Nobody write 1x. So that's why I didn't write the 1. So my gradient is 1, I know that, right? So I put x plus c. And next, how do I get my y-intercept? First method, look at that. First method, what do? You look at the graph. Do you manage to get the information? Yes, there is. There. It's given there already 5. So that's the y-intercept. I saw it. It's there. They give it to me. So I replace y equals to x plus 5. Done. You get 2 marks for this. Stating your y equals to x plus c, you get 2 marks. Okay, because gradient 1 mark. Then you complete the equation, you get 2 marks. So equation AB done. Okay, now we make it slightly more extreme. The usual y equals to x plus c calculation. The usual one. Okay. Now the usual one. Hey students, how do you get the m? Easy. 2 coordinates or maybe parallel, right? But of course, this one no parallel. If let's say I have a line here, and let's say I mentioned that, oh, this gradient is actually -2. Then you use -2, it's okay. If they say parallel, then you can easily put y equals to -2x plus c, but you have to write gradient, let's say this one is AB, then you put gradient AB equals to gradient C. This is if there is, but you don't have. So we go back to the usual one, okay? Now we go back to the usual one, the usual question. This is the usual question, right? Okay, so we're going to use like gradient CD equals to, yes, we have 2 coordinates. Extra info. If let's say there's a coordinate here, a random coordinate here, let's say there is. Can I use these 2 instead of these 2? Why not? It belongs to the same straight line. You will still get the same answer. Okay, can I use like this coordinate and this coordinate if there is? Yes, you will still get the same answer. they have the same rating for gradients. Okay, they have the same rating, so you can use it. You can use any points as long as it's along your CD. It's, look at the word I used just now, as long as it is relevant to your CD line. Relevant, you see, these are coordinates where it's relevant, right? So what are points which are not relevant to CD? Random coordinates which is not there, not on the straight line. Okay, so y1 minus y2, let's say this one first and second. So 5 minus 6, right? Minus 6, minus 5 minus 3. So 5 plus 6, you get 11. And then minus 5 minus 3, what do you get? Negative 8. Okay, I can replace my gradient now. Negative 11 over 8. X plus c, you notice I put the negative in the middle. Students, it's okay to get weird answers. It's okay. Yeah, so it's quite normal. Okay, then the next thing will be, hey, students, can you see your y-intercept? Because your first method is to look at the graph, right? Okay, I try to look at it. Hey, sorry, we don't have it, right? So you see, your y-intercept suppose is there, but it's not given. If let's say there's a figure there, you can replace it, right? But you don't have it. But never mind, we have the second way. What's the second way, everyone? We can sub relevant. This is the important word. Sub means replace. It means substitute. You know that. It's just a short form there, right? Now, relevant, students. Can you tell me any relevant coordinates to CD? There's 2, right? You can take any point as long as it falls along CD. Those are relevant coordinates. You want to take your negative 5, 5, you want to take your 3, negative 6, don't worry. You will still get the same C answer. Let's say I feel like using 3 and negative 6. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, let's do it. So students, X and Y, right? So now your XY, where just now I explained that the reason why there's an XY because this line passed through both axes, right? But we can use it to help out to find something, to find your y-intercept. So we can take this, X and Y. So I put that negative 6 equals to negative 11 over 8 times 3 plus C. So that you left C. You can find C now. Okay, so let's do some expanding, okay? Now, so, sorry, I'm weak in my maths, I need calculator. Yeah, so we're gonna do the calculation now. Okay, so we have, okay, I'll just do it, I will just continue below, although there's a logo that, like blocking, so it's fine. So this is negative 33 over 8 because we times it, right? Plus, minus, bring there, you get plus. I'm writing extra working. Then minus 6 plus 33 over 8. Okay, so what do you get? You get negative 15 over 8. So I put there, therefore C equals to negative 15 over 8. So students, I found my C. I just rewrite it. So therefore, y equals to negative 11 over 8x. The xy must be there. It's just to indicate that it passed through both. It's a slide, right? And then what you do next? You put your negative 15 over 8 inside. Done. That's your equation. You get 2 marks. You still get 2 marks, by the way. Okay, so done. So students, this is like the 2 type of y equals x plus c question. In your SPM, roughly the same. But of course, don't compare to school level. You compare SPM, this one relevant already. Okay, then finally, everyone, you come back to this part, right in the middle of it, right? So I'll just draw like a random shape there. So the last part under y equals x plus c is that you need to know. Normally they will ask for what? Can you get me the x-intercept? So how do you do x-intercept? You know your y-intercept, you solve it already. But you know what? Students normally tell me this, like, teacher, I thought y-intercept x equals 0. I know, but we don't use it in your calculation. That it's correct, you are correct, but then no point using it because you want to complete your equation, right? Yeah, so that's why no point using it. But if you want to get your x-intercept, you know the whole process in explaining it's supposed to be what? It's supposed to be y equals 0, like what you all mentioned to me, very good. But then it's not complete. Because if I say y equals 0 for strong students, they know what it means. But then weak students like me last time, right? I will argue with my teacher, y equals mx plus c, like the blank one, I go and ask my teacher this stupid question, I said, teacher, I put 0 already, I cannot find. You know what is stupid question now, right? So I asked my teacher, I put 0 already, why I cannot find? I mean, of course, I found my gradient now, it's just that I haven't get the C yet. Then I say, teacher, I put 0, but I don't know how to find it. Then my teacher laughed at me and said, of course, you need to make sure you have full equation first. For example, let's say you have y equals to 2x plus 4. This one complete gradient. You got gradient and y-intercept with you. Then you replace y equals 0. 0 equals z. Replace really. 2x plus 4. Bring this over. So 2x equals negative 4. I bring the plus 4 over, I get negative 4, then I swap. So x equals to negative 4 over 2. Negative 2, then you get ready. This is how you present your x-intercept. You don't tell me, teacher, I thought you have to put -2, 0. No, no, they didn't ask for coordinate of x-intercept. They asked for x-intercept. You stop here. Or maybe you want to write, you can write properly lah. If you want x-intercept equals to -2. So you write up to this is good enough. This is how you present final part x-intercept. So you go to the top. Now, these two questions, everybody. Now, so I put it by the side. Example number 1, get the x-intercept. Example number 2, get the x-intercept. Okay, so students, type in the chat for me. Thank you very much. What are the x-intercept for example 1 and example 2? I'll get you 30 seconds. Go. Of course, I'll prepare my calculation now. Okay, by the side. So you notice what I do is that I write down all the complete full equation. Then only I start my 0. Right now, 0 equals to x plus 5. So x equals to, you bring down -5, done. So I get my x-intercept ready, -5 for the first one. Okay, so got it? Then example 2, then of course a bit extreme lah. Why a bit extreme? A lot of fractions you can use calculator. Okay, so 0 equals to negative. You see what I do for calculation to speed up, okay, to make sure you get lesser error, especially weak students. So you see -11x over 8 minus 15 over 8. Of course, student will suggest me to combine it into single fraction, but I will do a standard general way, because not like every time you will get the same denominator. Yeah, because student ask me like, teacher, why don't I make it -11x minus 15 over 8? You can do that, but I won't be doing that lah. Okay, so I will bring this over 11x over 8, negative bring that positive, right? -15 over 8, 8 bring over, basically you simplify the 8 already. So 11x equals -15, x equals to -15 over 11. Done. This is your x-intercept. Don't change it decimal. Don't change it into mixed number. Stay improper. Done. This is your x-intercept. Okay. So students, this is a complete guide. Okay. In forming, look at the word that I mentioned. Listen carefully. A complete guide to get your equation to any straight lines. Any straight line. I repeat, straight lines. Okay. So this straight line includes 2 types. The easiest one, non-gradient, and the slightly harder one, gradient related, which is y equals to x plus c. You have only 2 types. Okay, so any question? You ask me now.